Elon Musk says your 401k is basically going to zero, so you might as well stop saving for retirement in the age of AI. If that's true, millions of people are wasting decades of their lives. If it's wrong, taking his advice could blow up your future. Welcome back to the comment section with Thomas Paul. Today's question is simple. Is Musk right that AI will nuke your retirement? Or is this billionaire fear-mongering dressed up as futurism? Here's where things get interesting. Let's start with what he actually said. On a recent panel, Musk argued that AI is advancing so fast it will create a world of extreme abundance. In that world, traditional retirement saving, 401ks, IRAs, all the boring stuff, might be pointless. His logic goes like this. If AI can do almost all productive work better and cheaper than humans, then in theory, everything you need could be provided with tiny amounts of labor. So instead of you saving, investing, and compounding for 40 years, the state or the machines just give you what you need. Others on the panel pushed back. They asked, who owns the AI? Who sets the rules? Just because robots can make everything doesn't mean you get a fair slice of it. That's not how power usually works, and that's why people are freaked out. For most households, the 401k is the main or only serious asset. When the world's richest man says that whole system is about to be irrelevant, it hits a nerve. But then he said this unbelievable thing. He didn't just say saving is pointless. He framed it as an AI arms race. In his view, if governments and companies don't go all in on AI, they get left behind. So we could end up in a world where the only people who win are those riding the right AI waves. Everyone else, good luck. So let's zoom out and ask, what does the actual economic research say? Studies on automation and AI estimate that a big share of tasks in the economy are exposed to AI. Think 20 to 40% of current jobs having a large chunk of what they do done by software. That doesn't mean all those jobs vanish, but it does mean the tasks and the pay can change fast. If AI makes workers more productive, that can go two ways. Scenario 1. Wages rise along with productivity. People keep their jobs, they use AI tools, and they get more done in less time. Scenario 2. Companies use AI to cut staff, keep prices similar, and profits surge, jabki wages lag. From a cold financial angle, that second world is brutal for workers, but often great for shareholders. If corporate profits boom because AI is doing more of the work, stock-heavy retirement accounts can actually benefit, even if the job market feels rough. And here's where things take a step further. Musk is basically betting on a third scenario. So much abundance that money itself starts to matter less. That's a huge leap from where we are today. Let's check what markets are actually doing, not what people are tweeting. We've already seen an AI stampede in stocks. The Magnificent Seven-style tech names plus a handful of chip makers have added trillions in market cap in just a few years. Some AI chip stocks have returned hundreds of %, while the average company in the index barely moved. That tells you two things. First, investors do believe AI is real and valuable. Second, the gains are extremely concentrated. If you own a broad index fund in your 401k, you already own those winners. But you also own a lot of companies that aren't benefiting yet. So diversified funds still work, but sector and single stock risk are getting more extreme. But it's even getting worse. The more AI gets priced into a small number of names, the more tempting it is to YOLO into those names directly. That's where a lot of people can get hurt. This isn't theoretical for me. When I was about 12, my parents lost most of their savings because they trusted one expert at a bank who sold them something they didn't really understand. No drama, no movie scene, just very quiet dinners for months. That was my first lesson that clever stories can destroy decades of work. Today, AI is the clever story. So let's look at how governments are reacting because that's the piece Musk rarely talks about. In the US and Europe, you already see serious discussions about how AI will affect jobs and wages. Some politicians float universal basic income, cash payments to everyone, as a cushion if work becomes less stable. Others talk about wage insurance, retraining, or big tax breaks for companies that keep humans in the loop. You also have regulators looking at AI safety, data rules, and antitrust action against the biggest AI platforms. The question they're wrestling with is, do we let a handful of firms capture all the AI upside, or do we force more competition and redistribution through taxes and policy? Here's where things get interesting. One senior policymaker recently said, in plain English, that AI could be as big a shift as the Industrial Revolution, and that governments will need new safety nets for workers. Translation: the state is not planning to sit this one out. Whether they do a good job is a separate question, but the idea that you must personally win the AI arms race or starve is not how modern economies actually work. We already socialize some risks through unemployment insurance, Social Security, and progressive taxes. AI will push that debate further. So what does this mean at the "what do I do with my 401k on Monday" level? Let's compare two 30-year-olds. Person A keeps maxing out their 401k. Let's say, after inflation, they get a real 4% annual return over 30 years in an AI-boosted economy. Roughly, every dollar they put in turns into about $3.25 in today's money. Person B hears Musk, shrugs, and stops saving, assuming future AI abundance or government support will bail them out. Fast forward 30 years. Even if AI did create abundance, Person A now has a pile of assets plus whatever AI safety net exists. Person B only has whatever the system gives them. If the politics go wrong, that's a nasty place to be. But then the unbelievable thing happened. History shows something very simple. When there's a big technological shift, there are winners and losers. The people who get through it best are usually the ones who owned assets and kept learning new skills, not the ones who opted out and hoped for the best. Sure, we might get deflationary abundance, cheaper goods, cheaper services. We also might get asset bubbles, higher inequality, and more political fights over taxes and regulation. You don't control that. You do control whether you keep saving and whether you keep upskilling. From my own life, in my early 30s, I invested in something boring and unfashionable while everyone chased hype. It didn't make me rich overnight. It just worked, slowly. That experience is why anytime I hear once in a lifetime or saving is pointless now, my default is, no, it isn't. So here are your concrete takeaways. Number 1, do not stop saving for retirement because a billionaire said it might be pointless. For most people, abandoning saving is far riskier than being wrong about AI abundance. Number 2, assume more volatility and more concentration risk. A diversified index fund still makes sense for a lot of investors, but it's reasonable to tilt a small slice of your portfolio toward AI and automation winners. The key word is small. Cap your position sizes so one stock can't wreck your future. Number 3, your skills are part of your portfolio. Learn to work with AI tools, not against them. If AI can draft, analyze, or code, your job is to become the human who directs it, quality checks it, and adds judgment. That's much harder to automate. And here's where things take a step further. Number 4, your vote is also part of your risk management. Pay attention to what politicians are actually proposing on AI safety, competition, and social safety nets. The rules they write will decide how the AI pie is split between labor, capital, and the state. By the way, if you're watching this and thinking, I'd love to run a YouTube channel like this, but I don't want to be on camera, this entire video was created with Fludge.io, the same system that powers this channel. It researches topics, writes scripts, creates thumbnails, uses AI avatars, and uploads to YouTube automatically, but you stay in control at every step. If you want to start your own faceless channel in any niche without drowning in editing and research, check out Fludge.io. Big picture. Musk might be right that AI changes the game, but that's exactly why you need both a portfolio and a political voice, not neither. I'll leave you with this. When I was in my early 20s working at a local newspaper, I saw how the same economic story could be spun as boom or crisis just by changing the headline. Musk's AI comments are a headline. Your job is to read the fine print. Financial disclaimer. Nothing in this video is personal financial advice. It's for education and entertainment. Talk to a qualified advisor before making big decisions with your money. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe to the comment section with Thomas Paul, and drop your take in the comments. Are you changing your investments or your vote because of AI, or staying the course?